A very good morning, all of you. Welcome to lecture number 2. In the previous lecture, we have discussed what is meant by digital system and how to interact with the analog world with the digital systems. And we have seen what are the extra advantages we get with the digital system. And we also conclude that under which places we need digital representation, under which condition we need a analog representation. In this lecture, I am going to cover what is meant by digital signal, what are the different number systems available in the digital systems, and we'll try to see how to convert binary to decimal and decimal to binary and its binary arithmetic operations. Okay, let's start for today's lecture. Now coming to the digital signal. So let's take a digital signal. As I said, a digital signal is discrete in nature. That means takes only a certain values. So in this case, it is taking only two values, 0 and 1. Okay, or you can call it as 0 volts. This 1 represents the 5 volts. We call this as a logic 1. With this we call it as a logic 0 in a digital system. So in certain cases you have a you will be seeing digital signals with a arrow marks. So this may be upper arrow mark here and maybe down arrow mark here. It means this is the negative edge triggered, or you can call it as a falling edge. So this is called positive edge triggered. This will come when we discuss the circuit response with a clock signal. I will call it a rising edge. Okay, this is the first characteristic of a digital signal. Now if you further discuss, so your digital signal is defined with the predefined levels. So this is 0 volts, this is 5 volts as I said previously. So anything above 3.2 volts to 5 volts, this entire region is called logic 1. Even though if output is 3.2 volts or 3.4 volts or 4.2 volts, whatever the number, this entire region is called as a logic 1. Similarly, if we take logic 0 to 0.8 volts, this entire region we call it as a logic 0. So whatever the value comes in between these two numbers we call it as a logic 0. The remaining region is called invalid or not acceptable region, So this is a first important classification. This is a positive logic system. So this is a positive logic system where a logic 1 is 5 volts and logic 0 is 0 volts. There is another logic system where that is called negative logic system, where you call logic 1 as 0 volts and logic 0 as 5 volts. This we'll discuss when it comes into sequential circuit, where we will see positive logic and negative logic. Okay, so this is all about your logic levels for a given digital signal. Now if you further study your logic signal or your digital signal, your digital signal will have the frequency. Okay, so usually in any digital circuit, let's take a digital circuit. This is a digital circuit. If digital circuit will have inputs A and B, and will have some output Y, let us assume. Okay, your A will be in the form of waveform, please remember, and your B will be in the form of again a waveform which is having values of 0 and 5 volts. When these two inputs are given to this particular system, at one instant of time, it will take, at let's say t equals t, it takes the values of 1 and 1. At this point it takes 0 and 1, and depending on these values your digital circuit will respond and produce an output here. So when you write the truth table, you will write it A, B and output Y. So you will take 0, 0, 1, 0, whatever the value. So that means your wave, at that particular point of time, your A is having a value of 0 and B is having value of 0. That means your input A and input will be in the form of always waveforms, not in the form of numbers. Please remember, usually books mostly they represent a number, they don't usually show till they go with the waveform analysis. So please remember, in the first instant you are going to have the signals in the form of waves. So this is all about your digital signal. Now we'll try to see different number systems available in the digital system. Okay, so there are if you take the different number systems, we have four number systems: a decimal, then binary, then octal, then hexadecimal. So these are the four number system we use in our day-to-day life. Now we'll try to see one by one. First we'll take the decimal number system. This decimal number system, everybody knows it has the values of 0, 1, 2, so on, 9. So these 10 states we call it as decimal numbers. Please remember, these are called decimal numbers. Anything which combination of these decimal numbers, like let's take 19, called as a, sorry, these are not decimals, these are decimal digits, I'm sorry. So so decimal system will have numbers 0 to 9, that means total 10 states. These 10 states are called decimal digits. Any combination of these decimal digits are called decimal numbers. And your decimal number system is a position weighted system. Please remember this terminology. This is a position weighted system. It means the value of any number depends upon its position. Since having 10 states, its base is 10. That means any number you represent in decimal number system. Let's take, if you represent 27, you have to write 10. This 10 is nothing but base. That means the given number is represented in the decimal number system, which has a base 10. Now coming to the position weighted system, it means if you take the 27, your 7 has a position weight of 10 power 0 and your 2 has a position weight of 10 power 1. That's how you take total value as 27 in decimal number system. This is all about your decimal number system. And if you want to write a very generalized formula for the decimal number system, what you can write it as, let's take another example like 27.10. This again in the decimal number system. In this case, your 2, 7 and decimal point and 0. Your this 7 having a position weight of 10 power 0, 2 having position weight of 10 power 1. So 10 power 1, and your 1 having 10 power minus 1, 10 power minus 2. So if you write a general formula, you can write it as dn 10 power n plus dn minus 1 10 power n minus 1 plus so on, d0 10 power 0, then there will be a decimal point, then d minus 1 10 power minus 1 plus d minus 2 and 10 power minus 2 and so on, d minus n 10 power minus n. So this is a general representation of a decimal number system. So we have to have same kind of decimal representation system for other number systems also. This is all about your decimal number system. Now we'll try to see a binary number system. I will try to see binary number system. So in binary number system, we will be having only two values. One is 0, other one is 1. It has only two different states. It means its base is 2. It is also position weighted system. That means the value of any number depends upon where it is located. Let's take a simple example to clarify what is meant by positional weight. Let's take 1010. So you have to write base 2. This base 2 represents the given number is in binary form. So in this case, this number will have a weightage of 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 and 2 power 3. Here it is 2 power minus 1, 2 power minus 2, 2 power minus 3. So this is what is meant by a positional weighted system in case of a binary and number system. Okay, this point is called a binary point. Okay. Now we'll write a general formula. If you write a general formula, bn into 2 power n plus bn minus 1 into 2 power n minus 1 plus so on b0 into 2 power 0, then the binary point, then b minus 1 into 2 power minus 1, b minus 2 2 power minus 2, and so on. And this is how we write the binary number system in general. Okay. Now we'll try to see how the counting takes place in binary number. Okay, let's first write the decimal numbers here, then binary numbers here. Decimal number 0 will be write as, will represent only 3 bits. Okay, then 1 will be 001, 2 will be 010, and 3 will be 011, 4 will be 100. Now if you look at here, so 001 means this is 2 power 0, that means 1 into 2 power 0 will be 1 in decimal. Here if you take this 2 power 0 and 2, this 2 power 1, this 2 power 0, if you take a total 1, it will be 2. If you look at here, this 2 power 0 and 2 power 1, that means 2 plus 1 will be 3. So this is how we take the counting sequence in the binary number system. If you write a 4-bit counting sequence, let's try with 3-bit counting in binary number system. So we'll take first zeros, then 001, 010, 011, 100, 101, 110, and 11. Okay. If you look at here, the first row, the bit is changing alternately. If you look at here, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, again it goes on. The second row, if you take the second row, bit is changing every 2 bits. First 2 0, then 2 1, then 2 0, 2 1. If you take the third row, your bit will change every 3 bits, sorry, every 4 bits. The first 4, then next 4. If you take another row, like if you take the 4-bit configuration, in that case, your fourth row will change to 0 to 1 for every 8 bits. After 8 bits, your 0 becomes 1. Suppose if you go to the next one, it becomes 1 0 0. That means this is 8. Okay, so this is how we count the sequence, and for the remembrance, you can remember the first row will change alternately, second row will change for every 2 bits, third row will change every 4 bits, and fourth row will change every 8 bits. Then you get the counting in the binary number system. Okay, now we'll try to see how to convert decimal to a binary. I will try to see how to convert decimal to the binary system. Okay, so there are 2 methods. The first one is sum of the weights method, and second one is a repeated division by 2, or we call it as a double method. Okay, we'll take simple example and try to explore how we can convert using both the methods. Let's take method 1. Let's take simple example 15 decimal number system. So in some of the weight method, what you do is you write 15 in terms of sum of the 2 powers. That means you take 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, and 2 power 4. Now try to express this 15 in terms of values of 2 powers. If you look at 2 power 4, it will become 16, so we cannot make it 0. So 15 can be written as 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. That means 8 means 2 power 3. That means it should be included. That means you keep the weightage 1 here. 4 means 2 power 2. You keep the weightage here, and 2 means here, and 1 means 2 power 0. That means you can write 15 as in binary number system. Take one more example. Let's take 8 in decimal. So you can express 8 as 2 power 3 directly. Okay, so if you write the powers 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3 and 2 power 4. So 8 can be directly expressed as 2 power 3. That means you keep 1 here. Rest you don't require. That means you keep 0 here. This was you don't need, keep 0, keep 0 here. Now write this and here you don't need 2 power 4. Write 0 here. So you can write as 0 1 0 0 binary. So this is one way of converting a decimal number into binary number. We'll try to see. Now we'll try to see how to convert by method 2. Let's take method 2. So let's take the same 15 here. So let's take 15 and repeated division by 2. Let's take 2. 2 into 7 will be 14. So now what you do is whatever the remainder you're going to get it, write it here. Again divide the 2. 2 into 3 will be 6. Remainder will be 1. Again repeated division. 2 into 1 will be 2 with a remainder 1. Once you get the 1 at the bottom, what you do is now take from bottom to up in this direction. This will be your MSB and this will be your LSB. You can write it as 1 1 1 1 in binary. Please remember, in binary number this is called most significant bit, this is called least significant bit. Each bit is called, each number or each digit is called bit in this case. Okay, so this is one, this is second way of doing decimal to binary conversion. Let's take 8 and try to do with repeated division. Let's take 8. So 2 into 4 will be 8 with a remainder 0 here, and 2 into 2 will be 4 with a remainder 0 here, and 2 into 1 will be 2 the remainder 0. Now take lower to upper side will be 1 0 0 followed by base 2. So this is how we convert a binary number to the, sorry, this is how we convert a decimal number to the a binary number. If at all there is a fraction part, let's take a simple example. Let's take 0.75 decimal number system. So now we want to convert into binary number. So what you do is, in order to convert, you multiply given decimal fraction with 2. Okay, so that means first take 0.75 multiply with 2, you are going to get 1.50. So in this, keep the integer aside and take the fraction, take the fraction of the product, whatever the product, new product, and the particular fraction. That means you keep 1 aside and take this 0.50 here again, and again multiply with 2, you are going to get 1.00. Okay, so that means you got the complete integer. Okay, if you don't get the complete integer, again you take the integer aside and repeat the same process till you get the complete integer. Once you get it, now you take the values from top to bottom. Now you take the values from top to bottom. Now you are supposed to write 0.11, that is equivalent to 0.75 in a decimal number. So we'll take one more example for a better understanding. Let's take 0.25. So as I said, first multiply with 2, you are going to get 0.50. Keep the 0, this is the integer part, and take the fraction as here. 0.50 into 2 will be 1.0. Now we got the integer one. Now you take from this one. So your 0.25 and decimal number system is equivalent to 0.01 in binary number system. We'll take interesting example. This is very important. So in this we are going to take a fraction 0.20 in decimal number system. we follow the same procedure. 0.20 into 2, it will be 0.40, keep 0 aside, and 0.40 into 2 will be 0.80. Let's keep 0 aside, again multiply. 0.80 into 2 will be 1.60, keep 1 aside and take 6 again. 60 into 2 will be 1.20, keep 1 aside and 0.20 to 2. So if you look at here, again we end up with the same starting number. Okay, that will be again 0.40. So in this case, this number can never be expressed exactly in the binary form. What you do is, after a set of one cycle, you just stop the procedure and take the numbers from top to bottom. That means your 0.20 in decimal will be equivalent to 0.0011 and you can add some more number for the better accuracy. Okay, so this is how we convert fraction numbers or fractional decimal numbers into binary numbers. Okay, now we'll try to see binary to a decimal number. How to convert binary to a decimal. Okay, let's take a binary number. As I said, you know the position weighted system. Now first we have to write their individual position weights. This will be 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power minus 1, 2 power minus 2. If you write it here, 1 into 2 power 3 will be 8, plus 0 into 0 into 4 will be 0, 0 into 2 will be 0, and 1 into 2 power 0 will be 1. Okay, plus this will be 1 by 2. Okay, and this will be 1 by 4. Okay, so there is a binary point here. This will be 9. So this portion will be 9. This entire portion is 9. And this is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. That means 0.5 and 0.25 will be 75 in decimal number system. This is how we convert a binary number to a decimal number. Okay. Now we'll try to see the binary arithmetics. Okay, now we are going to see how to do the binary additions, subtraction, multiplication and division. So first we'll see the addition. So if you want to do the binary addition, first you should know the rules. These are the binary rules. The binary rule states 0 plus 0 will be 0, 0 plus 1 will be 1, 1 plus 0 will be 1, 1 plus 1 will be 0 with a carry 1, or you can write it as 1 plus 1 will be 0 with a carry here. That means if you put it here, it will be 1 0. That means when you add 1 plus 1, usually 1 plus 1 will be 2. So if you look at this 1 0, 1 0 and binary is nothing but 2 in the decimal equivalent. So that's why we write it as 1 plus 1 will be 0 with a carry 1. This is most important point for the binary addition. Now we'll take a simple example and try to add two numbers. Okay, let's take simple example and try to see 2.5 and 7.25. Okay, we are trying to add these two numbers. Okay, now what you do is you first to convert them into binary form. 2 can be written as 0 1 0, 0.50 can be written as 0.1. 0.1 means 1 by 2, 1 by 2 means 0.5. Okay, similarly your 7 can be written as 1 1 1, and 2 pi can be written. 2 pi means 1 by 4. That means 0 1 in binary. So first we need to convert. We are going to add these two numbers. First we need to convert into a binary form. Then we are going to add these two numbers. We'll see So 0 1 0 0.1 1 1 0.01. We can add one more 0 here. There is no problem if you add extra zeros this side. You can add extra zeros this side. Please remember, you can add zeros extra here and extra this side also. There is no problem. Okay. Now if you look at here, 0 plus 1 will be 1. 1 plus 0 will be 1. 0 plus 1 will be 1. 1 plus 1 will be 0 with a carry 1. Now 1 plus 1 will be 0 with a carry 1. So we write the carry here. Now we got the total values in the binary form. Now we need to convert to decimal to find out the exact value. If you write here, this will be 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 and 2 power 3, 2 power minus 1, 2 power minus 2. If you convert it, you are going to get, this is a 2 plus 8 will be 9. 2 power 0 means 1. This will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 8. Then 1 by 2 will be 0.5. 1 by 4 will be 0.25. So total you are going to get 9.75 decimal numbers. If you add these two numbers, it will be 5. This will be 7. 2 plus 7 will be 9. So we are getting the same value whatever we got it through our binary arithmetic operation. This is how we perform the binary addition. Now we'll try to see the binary subtraction. I'll try to see the binary subtraction. So before that, you should know the rules. Rules are simple. 0 minus 0 will be 0. 1 minus 0 will be 1. And 1 minus 1 will be 0. 0 minus 1 will be 1 with a borrow 1. It means when you want to, let's take 1 0 minus 0 1. So you cannot subtract 1 from 0. So what do you take a borrow? Please remember, when you take borrow here, the borrow value will be 2. 2 is nothing but 1 0 in binary. Okay, that means when you take borrow from a previous number, this becomes 0 and this becomes 2 because your base system is 2. Your system base is 2. So if you take a decimal system, let's take, so what do you take when you take the borrow from, it will be 10 because the base system is 10. The borrow is 10 here. In this case, the base system is 2. That's why you take a borrow 2, that is equivalent to 1 0 in the binary form. So 2 minus 1 will be 1. Now we can see 0 minus 1 will be 1 with a borrow 1. So this will be clear when you perform one simple example. Okay. So please remember, whenever you take borrow in binary arithmetic, the borrow will be equivalent to 1 0, which is equivalent to 2 in the decimal number system. Now we'll try to see a simple example on how to do the subtraction of two numbers. Just take 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3. 7 will be 1 1 1. 3 will be 0 1 1. So 1 minus 1 will be 0. 1 minus 1 will be 0. 1 minus 0 will be 1. So 1 0 0 will be equivalent to 4 in the decimal numbers. Now it is very clear. Okay. I will try to take another example where the borrow operations are involved. Let's take 10 minus 7. So 10 will be 1 0 1 0. 7 will be 0 1 1. If you look at here, now you cannot subtract 1 from 0. You cannot subtract 0 minus 1. So what do you take a borrow? When you take borrow, this becomes 0 and this becomes 2. Okay, 2 minus 1 will be 1. Now here it is 0, here it is 1. You cannot subtract. Here also same thing. What do you have to take borrow from here first? This becomes 0, it becomes 2. Okay, again if you take borrow from here, this becomes 2, this becomes 1. Now 2 minus 1 will be 1 and 1 minus 1 will be 0. This 0 minus will be 0. Now we end up with 3 in the decimal number system. If you look at 10 minus 3 will be 10 minus 7 will be 3 in the decimal number system. It's very clear. We are able to do the same thing. Now let's take one more complicated example to make it more clear. Let's take 1010.010, next 011.111. Now if you look at here, now you cannot subtract these two numbers. What you have to borrow from here, take borrow, that will becomes 2, this becomes 0. 2 minus 1 will be 1. Now again this becomes 0, 0 minus 1 cannot be done. This is also not done. This is also not. We have to take borrow from here. Take borrow, this becomes 0, this becomes 2. Take one more borrow, this becomes 2, this becomes 1. Take borrow, this becomes 1, this becomes 2. Now 2 minus 1 will be 1. 1 minus 1 will be 0. Now it is 1. 1 minus 1 will be 0. Now this is 0. This 1 again you cannot. This 0 is 1. 1 you cannot take. Again take borrow from here. This becomes 2 and this becomes 0. Again take borrow. This becomes 2. This becomes 1. 2 minus 1 will be 1. 1 minus 1 will be 0. Now you are finally getting a value in the binary number system. So this is how we perform the binary subtraction using a borrow operation. Now we'll try to see how to do the binary multiplication. Now we'll try to see the multiplication. Okay, let's take 7 into 3. So 7 can be written as 1 1 1, 3 can be written as 0 1 1. It is same as your decimal multiplication. 1 into 1, 1 into 1, 1 into 1, then put a cross mark here, then 1 into 1, then 1 into 1, then 1 into 1. This is 0, you don't have to do it. Okay, and this will be 1. 1 plus 1 will be 0 with a carry 1 here. Now if you look at here, 1 plus 1 will be 1 0. 1 0 plus 1, that means see when you add 3 ones, first add these two. 1 plus 1 will be 1 0. 1 0 plus 1 will be 1 1. That means you have one sum and carry 1. That means you write 1 here, okay, carry here. Now 1 plus 1 will be 1 0. Okay, this is your final number in the binary form. So 7 into 3 will be 21 in the decimal number system. If you write it here, this will be 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3 and 2 power 4, that is 2 power 4. If you take the value, this will be 16 plus 0 plus 4 plus 0 plus 1. 16 plus 4 will be 20, 20 plus 1 will be 21 in decimal number system. So you can see we got the same values here and here. That means our multiplication is correct. So this is how we perform the binary multiplication. I will try to see the binary division, how to do the binary division. Let's take 21 divided by 7. Okay, we know this will be 3 in decimal number system. So first we write 21 in binary form. 21 will be written binary form. Just now we have did it. 21 in the binary form will be 10101. We'll take the same value. So we write it 10101. This is the 21 and 7 will be 111. So we'll try to see how to do the division now. So let's take 10101 with 1. So if you multiply with 1 time, okay, it becomes 111. So if you try to write 11 here, so this 3-digit value is, if you look at the 3-digit value 101. 101 is nothing but 5, but if you look at the bottom value, it is 7. So we cannot subtract 5 minus 7. What we do is we take these 4 bits. In that case, we have to display these numbers to the left side. So what you have to take is, you have to take instead of 3 digits, you have to take the 4 digit. We'll try to do that now. So look at here, when you take one time, it will be all ones here. In that case, the upper value is 5, lower value is 7. You can also have to consider the first 4 bits. In that case, you have to write 0, 1, 1, 1. Now do the subtraction. Take the borrow. This becomes 2 and this becomes 0. 2 minus 1 will be 1. Now it is 0 and is 1. Now it is 0, 1. You have to take borrow from here. This will be 2. It becomes 0. Take one more borrow. This becomes 2. This becomes 1. 2 minus 1 will be 1. 1 minus 1 will be 0. So when you take one time and considering first 4 bits, okay. Now if you take once again 1, it will be 1, sorry, 1, 1, 1. That means it is having 3 upper and it is having 7. So we take this 1 down. Now take one time, it will be 0, 1, 1, 1, it will be 0. So you are getting a coefficient of 1, 1. That means 1, 1 will be equivalent to 3 in the decimal number system. We are getting the same value, whatever we are getting here, we are getting the same value here. We will take one more examples and try to conclude today's session. Let's take 9 divided by 3. So as you know, it will be 3 in decimal number system. 9 can be written as 1, 0, 0, 1 and 3 can be written as 1, 1. If we take one time, it will be 1, 1, upper one is 2 and lower one is 3. You cannot solve. I have to take the first 3 digits. So take the one time with 0, 1, 1. The upper one is 4 now, lower one is 3. Now you can subtract, but you cannot subtract here. You have to take the borrow. So take borrow, this becomes 0. Take one more borrow, this becomes 1. This becomes 2. 2 minus 1 will be 1. 1 minus 1 will be 0. This will be 0. Now if you take one more 1, it will be 0, 1, 1. The upper one is 1, lower one is 3. You cannot subtract. So you take 1 down. Now take one more multiplication of 1. It will be 0, 1, 1. So you are going to get 0 here and you are going to get the coefficient 1, 1 in binary will be equivalent to 3 in the decimal number system. So we are getting the same number as your decimal number division. So this is how we perform the division using binary numbers. Okay. Now I will stop for today's lecture. In the next lecture we will see the octal arithmetic operation in octal